Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? Got a couple requests from quite a few people. They wanted to know what I put on this bike since I've owned it. I got about 70 miles on this bike. Don't have all the bugs worked out of it. I have done one race with it. I'm not a great racer. I'm more just a guy that likes to go out and have fun, ride the woods with my friends. I ride here and there just because I want to find a different place to ride. So that being said, I kind of was out of the bike scene for probably 3-4 years. I had KTMs, had a KTM 300, 250, and I ended up getting a CR 250 because my kids were kind of getting into it. I really love the CR 250. I'm a type of guy that even in the woods, I like a stiff suspension. And the CR 250 with the weighted flywheel really wasn't that bad in the woods. But a friend of mine had a beta. I've never even really heard about him. And I jumped on it, and within 5 minutes, I looked at him and go, "Where did you get this? Because I want one." No shit, guys, 2 weeks later, I put my order in, and I ended up getting a 2020 Beta 300RR, and I absolutely love it. If you ask me, will I ever go back to KTM? The answer is no. I will probably never go back to KTM. I have my reasons, but I just love this Beta. The only other bike that I might think about later down the road would be maybe a Sherco. But when I bought this bike, I kind of bought it as this might be my last dirt bike. I don't know. I'm 40 years old. If my kids don't continue to be interested in it, I might not be interested in it anymore. If my friends get rid of theirs and I find myself riding by myself, this might be my last one. So with that in mind, I kind of wanted my dream bike, and I splooged a little bit. I spent way too much on this bike, and I'll go over how much I spent on this when the video's over, but let's just start at the top. Been a Pro Taper fan for, God, since the 90s, since I was a little kid when they first came around. Got Pro Taper bars. I like the CR high bend. I'm 6'1", so if I can get my bars up a little bit higher, I like that. I do not run a riser. I'm not a believer in the risers. I believe that the people that made these bikes put the handlebars where they need to be, so that's where I keep them. Now, if you're 6'4", well, I'm sorry guys, you got to put risers on them. But I'm a firm believer if you can keep your bars in the factory position, that's where you want them. The bike was made like that. So let's keep going. Cycra Ultra Pro Bends. I kind of went all out and got the billet aluminum ones. They're 180 bucks. Went with those. The Pro Tapers are about 89 bucks, 90 bucks for a pair of Pro Tapers. This bar pad here, I got it from a company that I seen on YouTube or something. I can unzip it, put my phone in here, wear my earbuds, listen to music in the woods. So I think I got it for like 10 bucks. One of the two things that I got done right when I bought this bike, and I could have done it myself, but I actually had the dealership do it. Right when the bike came in is front springs in the shocks, or in the forks, and a rear spring in the rear shock. 100 bucks for the front springs. Rear spring was 130 bucks. I believe they are Race Tech. Didn't change the fluid levels, didn't change any of the valving. I actually like the way this bike rides. A lot of people say it's too stiff. I honestly, guys, I haven't even messed with the clickers much. Like I said, I like my bikes a little bit stiffer, so haven't really noticed that I don't like the forks or the shocks yet. So there's that. As far as tires, I run the factory tires as of right now. When they do wear out, I will go to probably a Shinko cheater, like a 525 or a Golden tire. I know they're a little expensive for a gummy tire and they don't last very long, but the performance they give is just outstanding. Let's go on your guys' side here. Another thing I went with, first thing, was the Smart Carb. The Smart Carb is something that, again, it was my dream bike. I wanted the best of the best. Do I need it here in the Midwest? No. I don't go from 1,000 feet of elevation to 10,000 feet like some guys do in Colorado and Utah. So, and if I did go to Colorado and Utah, I don't have a problem changing jets. I'm pretty knowledgeable about that, but I wanted to put one on just because, again, my dream bike. So I did, and I tell you what, guys, best $700 I ever spent. The way it starts, the way it warms up, the way it runs, it's like having a fuel injection bike. It's absolutely phenomenal. Along with that, you can get the fuel injection. I believe that's $300. I did buy it. I had it sitting in my workbench, and I was gonna put it on this bike. I kind of opted out of it. I don't know if it was laziness and I didn't want to put it in the bike, but I also kind of had a factor in my head. Hey, what if something goes wrong with that fuel or that oil injection? You're gonna blow your motor up. Like my buddy has it, and he hasn't had a problem in years and years on his. I've never heard of anybody having a problem with their fuel injection, or their oil injection. So that being said, I just opted. I was lazy and I didn't want to put it in. Let's just say that, and I ended up selling it. So another thing I got down here, the Moose guard to protect the master cylinder. I had to drill a hole in it right here so I can get the adjustments for the the Recluse clutch. As far as my shifting lever, this shifting lever actually works pretty well with me. I got size 13 shoes, and I'm also duck-footed, so my feet stick out. Gets me in a lot of trouble when I'm riding in the woods because I like to catch them on trees and shit like that. And I always constantly have to tell myself to suck my toes in, but it's really hard because my legs are kind of shaped like that I walk with my toes out. So I'll probably go with something with a little bit longer knob on it to where I can grab it with my boot a little bit easier. But I haven't. I'm liking the position of these factory ones. Another thing, the Chirby's side protectors here. Factory ones worked fine. It was just a fluke deal. It showed up in a box one day from Rocky Mountain ATV. So I got a free pair of these, so I've been trying them. I've only rode the bike probably with about 5 miles with those on, so I don't notice they're on there that I grip any better than normal. Everything else, guys, on this side is factory. I have not changed the gearing or anything over here. A buddy of mine does make these 3D printed deals for the kickstand. So their kickstand, and I don't know if they changed it in 2021, but has a very, very small foot. So put a little bit bigger foot on it. Another thing I did over on this side, I got a radiator fan. I live in the Midwest. We only get about 2 months to where it's 80, 90 degrees. And is it needed on a 2-stroke here in the Midwest? No. Not unless you're doing a hard enduro type riding to where you're barely moving, but I don't believe that a 2-stroke in the Midwest needs a fan, especially if you're just trail riding or running single track. A 4-stroke, yes. 2 strokes, no. So that's just my opinion, guys. You can yell at me in the comments if you want, but here in the Midwest, I don't think there's any need for it. But I did put one on. Don't remember how much those are, probably 150 bucks, 130 bucks. This was probably about 50 bucks. I'm just going off the top of my head, guys. I'm sorry, I have all what this bike cost here. Another thing that I did splooge on up here, I keep saying splooge for some reason, but we'll just keep it, is the red anodized covers. Those were $70. They're just for looks, but like I said, my dream bike, that's what I wanted, so that's what I got. Again, my wife don't know and will probably never ever see this video or she will kick my ass. Another thing I did up front, blue anodized radiator guards. It's a must, guys. Let that be probably one of the, after you put your springs on your forks, get the bars you like and want, make you feel comfortable on the bike, get something to protect your radiator guard or your radiators, or you're gonna end up buying new radiators. They're kind of a must. These were not cheap. They're like 250 bucks. On this side, got a pipe guard, carbon fiber pipe guard, 100 bucks, 150 bucks from Beta. A lot of guys make fun of me because of the pipe guard. Don't know why. I think a lot of hard enduro guys, or just enduro guys in general, just believe in beating the shit out of their pipe and buying one the next year. Kind of makes sense, but $100 pipe guard, if it lasts me one more year on the pipe, then hey, I know you're still gonna bash the bottom of it, so it really doesn't make a big difference, but there it is. I got the Beta foldable brake lever for my rear foot. Again, I'm duck-footed. I have size 13 feet. I wanted a little bit of bigger platform, so I spent $150 on that. Whatever. Recluse clutch, $1,000. I kind of got a love-hate with Recluse, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care for them. If I was younger, I wouldn't have Recluse. I enjoy using the clutch. I still use the clutch on this bike just as normal. You can't tell that the Recluse is in there, so I still use my clutch as normal. I just use the Recluse when I can't use my arms anymore. I'm getting to my age to where my arms go numb or I get arm pumps so bad, and especially since I used to be a bodybuilder. When I was younger in high school, I was 160 pounds. I didn't have a lot of muscle in my arms to cut off the circulation or let the blood get out of my arms. Now, and I used to be 270 pounds. Now I'm probably about 250. So being 100 pounds bigger than I used to be when I was a kid, when I was a senior in high school, the blood can't get out of my arms because of my big chest and shoulders and stuff, and I got 19-inch arms. So I've noticed a lot of fatigue in my hands, and in doing so, it gets me in a lot of trouble. I've wrecked pretty hard because I can't hold on. And the Recluse just keeps me to be able to keep riding a little bit longer. So I've kind of fell in love with the Recluse. I have nothing against Recluse. I'm a person that says if you're brand new into riding dirt bikes in the woods, can it make you a better rider? Yeah. Will it make you a faster rider? Yeah. But you have to learn the clutch. If you ever want to be a great rider, if you ever want to be just with one of the guys where you can jump on their bike and ride it just like they got, you have to learn the clutch, guys. I'm a firm believer, especially with kids, do not buy them a Recluse clutch because they want one. Make them learn. So there I am on the Recluse, that's enough. Other than that, guys, on this side, you know, I got some anodized things that I've put on. Other than that, guys, I think that's about it. The pipes I've kept the same. The foot pegs on the race edition are very, very nice. I know these are going to wear out very, very quick, and when they do wear out, I will definitely have fastaway pegs. Really like fastaway pegs. I've had them on my last two bikes, and I really, 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 really like them. So, other than that, guys, I think that's about it. There's not a lot of aftermarket stuff that you would think that I have on this. Beta makes a great bike to where you really, it's kind of like KTM. They're ready to ride, and you don't really need to buy anything special unless you want it. As far as the pricing, guys, I'll grab it here. The bike, when I bought it, $9,250. I paid $462 in taxes, sales tax. I ended up taking out a loan on this bike. If you guys want to know what this bike's going to cost you a month, with all the parts that I have on this, if you take out a 3-year loan at 4% interest, you will be paying $384 a month. That's what this bike costs. In grand total, you will end up paying, not end up paying, but in going out the door, if you paid cash, you would be paying $13,854. Now guys, after you put on the Cycler handguards, the Pro Taper bars, the anodized deals, the new brake lever, I bought all that stuff after I already brought the bike home and I had the loan out. So in the end, guys, you can say $14,000 for this bike. Do not show this video to my wife or I will no longer be alive. If she finds out that I paid $14,000 for a fucking dirt bike, she will cut my balls off. That's just true story. I put $1,000 down on this, so let's just run through it. $9,250 for the bike, $462 in sales tax, put down $1,000, which left me with $8,712. Accessories, $4,036. And you kind of think, where? Well, the Recluse is $1,000. The Smart Carb is $700. They're $1,700. Springs, $250. Radiator guards, $250. Radiator fan, $150. It adds up, and it adds up real quick. Thing that I wish I would have done when I bought this bike too and put it on the loan, I wish I would have put mooses in it with some tires. The tires I like. But I figured might as well run the factory tires down the nothing and then change it out. Same thing with the skid plate. Might as well destroy that skid plate before I put a different skid plate on it. Speaking of skid plates, one thing I forgot, the Fastway linkage guard. That thing isn't cheap. It's like $250, $280. So grand total, guys, my loan I took out for $12,804. So that's what I'm paying. Of course, that's with $1,000 down. So if you wanted this bike the way it sits, $14,000. So you guys wanted it, wanted to know what I had on this bike. That's what I had. And things that I'm going to do with this bike on the channel, not a lot, guys. I bought this bike for me. I bought this bike to go out, enjoy, and ride. So I don't know that there'll be much content on this. If there is, it's going to be a GoPro on the helmet. You're going to go riding with me and my buddies. We plan on going out to Michigan and riding some trails up there. They got 100 miles of single track, so we're going to ride that. I would also love to get this in Colorado, Utah, Idaho, stuff like that. But I'm going to have to kind of wait until my kids are a little bit older and they can actually go, not older, just better riders, and they can actually go with me and ride. Because as of right now, when I take my vacations, me and the wife take the side-by-side out. I would love if my old lady was into dirt bikes and we could both ride dirt bikes together. But it's just, I'm not going to ride the dirt bike and have her follow me in the side-by-side. That's not being together in my mind. So either got to be both on dirt bikes or both in the side-by-side. So there it is. Another thing, guys, this stand, I bought this off Amazon. This stand is awesome. You can lock it down into your foot pegs. Also, this thing will go 3 feet in the air. So this bike will go, you know, up in the air. You can sit there and change tires, work on the bike from eye level. It's great. 160 bucks, I believe. It can lift like 300 pounds. So, and it's just nice to be able to just push your bike around the garage. So, but there it is, guys. Have a good one.